Imagine being betrayed by the one person you trusted the most. But what happens when she moves on with someone else? Now, the CEO who once crushed her heart is desperate to get her back. But it's too late. Or is it? Watch till the end to see how this shocking twist unfolds. Rain fell like needles on her skin. Cold, dark, lonely. Anna stood outside the Grand Hotel. Gold lights shimmered through the glass. Soft music floated into the night air. But none of it was for her. She clutched the wedding invitation in her trembling hand. A name was printed beside hers. Not his name. Not the man who once promised her forever. Ethan Carter, CEO of Carter Enterprises. A man worshipped by the world. But a monster in her memories. She still felt the slap of his words. You are not good enough for me. His cold voice had sliced her heart months ago. All for his glamorous mistress, Isabel. A woman with diamonds in her smile and poison in her heart. Anna remembered it all. The humiliation. The betrayal. The night he left her crying on the street. Now she was here. Wearing a simple white dress. Radiant not because of wealth. But because of strength. Because of survival. Inside the ballroom, gasps echoed. Ethan froze mid-step. His icy blue eyes locked on hers. His jaw clenched. Regret poured from him like a storm. He pushed past the guests. Past Isabel, who stood there burning with fury. Anna! His voice cracked. He reached for her hand. Warmth met ice. But Anna pulled away. His touch was a wound she refused to reopen. Please, he whispered. I was wrong. Rain dripped from his hair. But it was too late. The man beside Anna stepped forward. Strong. Protective. His hand wrapped around hers. If loved. Ethan fell to his knees. In front of everyone. The mighty CEO. Begging. Shaking. Eyes wet with regret. But Anna's heart was already gone. She leaned close. Her words sharp as glass. There are no second chances. Her heels clicked against the marble. Each step a farewell. Each step a victory. Behind her, Ethan broke. Crushed by the very emptiness he gave her once. And Anna. She walked toward forever. Without him. The heavy doors closed behind her. Sealing him in his world of regret. Sealing her in a new beginning. Outside, the rain had softened. The sky no longer wept for her. Her heart no longer bled for him. Beside her, Daniel, the man who loved her truly, smiled. Not because of her beauty. Not because of her past. But because of her soul. Her scars. Her courage. They walked together through the quiet street. Every light seemed warmer. Every sound gentler. Freedom felt like the cool night breeze on her skin. No weight on her shoulders. No chains on her heart. Behind them, Ethan still knelt in ruins. People whispered. Some pitied him. Some stared in shock. But none could save him from himself. Isabel turned away from him. Her eyes cold. Her lips curled in disgust. She loved his power. Not his pain. He was alone now. Truly alone. Anna never looked back. Not once. Not even when the wind carried his broken voice. Anna! Forgive me. But forgiveness was not love. And regret was not redemption. She had already buried her past. Tonight she was not the girl he destroyed. She was the woman he lost forever. And some losses could never be undone. Not even by the richest man in the city. Not even by tears. Not even by love once thrown away. Anna's steps were steady. Her heart calm like never before. The city lights shimmered on wet streets. Reflections of a life reborn. Daniel opened the car door for her. Gentle. Respectful. The way love was meant to be. As she sat inside, the soft scent of roses greeted her. Real. Pure. Unlike the cold perfume of her past. Daniel joined her. His eyes never leaving hers. You are safe now, he whispered. And she believed him. Because safety was not in promises. It was in actions. It was in quiet strength. Far behind them, Ethan stood alone in the rain. His empire of glass shattered at his feet. Wealth could not heal him. Power could not hold her. Regret wrapped around him like iron chains. Unbreakable. Unforgiving. Inside the car, Anna closed her eyes. Not to forget, but to remember who she had become. Not a victim. Not a discarded girl. But a woman reborn from pain. Unbreakable. Unstoppable. Daniel reached for her hand. Their fingers laced together. Warmth flowed through her. Not from gold. Not from diamonds. But from truth. From love without lies. As the car pulled away, the city blurred behind them. So did the shadows of the past. Anna smiled faintly. She had once begged for Ethan's love. Now he begged for hers. But life had already answered. Some doors close forever. And some hearts never open twice. The car moved through the city like a quiet dream. Soft music played in the background. Not loud. Not forced. Just enough to fill the silence with peace. Anna leaned her head against the window. Raindrops traced paths down the glass. But her tears were gone. Left far behind. Left with the man who once crushed her soul. Daniel glanced at her. His voice low. "You are free now, Anna." And she was. Truly free. Not just from Ethan. But from the girl who used to wait for love that never came. From the girl who believed in empty promises. Tonight she buried that girl forever. The car slowed. They arrived at a small, quiet place. Far from golden towers. Far from cold marble halls. It was a little home. With warm lights in the window. With flowers blooming in the dark. Life here was simple. But real. Daniel stepped out first. He walked to her side. Opened the door without a word. She stepped out. Her heels touched soft earth. Not cold stone. The air smelled of wet grass and roses. Not perfume. Not greed. He offered his hand. Not as a savior. Not as a master. But as a partner. As a man who saw her heart, not her past. Anna took his hand. Her heart light. Her step sure. Behind her, the city pulsed with noise. With broken dreams. With lost men like Ethan. Men who thought love was a game. Men who learned too late. Love cannot be bought. Anna walked forward. Into a life without pain. Into a love that asked for nothing. Into a forever that belonged to her. And only her. Inside the little house, warmth wrapped around her like a soft blanket. The scent of fresh tea drifted from the kitchen. Candles glowed gently on the wooden table. There was no gold here. No diamonds. But everything shined with peace. Daniel took her coat, careful with every move. Like she was precious. Like she mattered. Anna sat down by the window. Outside the rain had stopped. The world looked clean. Fresh. Ready for new stories. Daniel placed a cup of tea in front of her. His eyes held no demand. No control. Only quiet love. She wrapped her hands around the warm cup. Her fingers no longer shook. Her heart no longer feared. She looked at him. At the man who never hurt her. Never lied to her. Never left her standing alone in the rain. And in that moment she knew. She would never again let her heart return to the past. To empty halls. To cold hands. To false love that left scars. Ethan was gone from her life. Gone like a storm that could no longer reach her sky. Somewhere he might still whisper her name in the dark. Still dream of what he lost. Still break under the weight of his own mistakes. But she would never hear him again. Never answer that ghost. Anna smiled softly. Real love was not in power. Not in wealth. It was here. In small moments. In safe hands. In hearts that never had to beg. And tonight she was exactly where she belonged. Far from pain. Far from regret. Forever free. Later that night Anna stepped outside. The air was cool. Fresh earth beneath her feet. Stars stretched across the dark sky. Wait, endless. She closed her eyes. Breathed deeply. No walls around her. No cages built from money and control. Behind her, warm light spilled from the little house. Her safe place. Her new world. She thought of Ethan only once. Brief shadow. Distant echo. Perhaps he sat alone in his grand mansion, surrounded by empty rooms, haunted by memories. By her laughter he would never hear again. By her love he could never touch again. But Anna did not pity him. He had written his fate. Word by cruel word. Choice by selfish choice. Some men learn too late that hearts are not toys. That women are not prizes to be owned. Anna opened her eyes, looked up at the stars, silent witnesses to her pain, and now to her freedom. Daniel stepped behind her. He did not speak, did not disturb her silence, just stood close, present, real. Anna turned to him, her voice calm, strong. I am not who I used to be. Daniel smiled. I know. You never tried to change me. I never had to. Because love, true love, does not break wings. It watches them soar. Anna reached for his hand. Their fingers met. No force, no fear. Just two souls choosing each other. Freely, fully, forever. And as they stood there, beneath stars older than pain, Anna knew one thing. She was no longer the girl who begged. No longer the woman who waited. She was the one who walked away. And never looked back. The wind moved softly through her hair. It felt like a gentle promise from the night sky. A quiet reminder she survived. She healed. She became. Anna walked back toward the little house. Step light. Each breath steady. Inside Daniel waited. Not as her rescuer. Not as her master. But as her equal. Her partner in a life built from truth. Not power. Not control. She stepped through the door. The wooden floor creaked softly beneath her feet. Warm lights painted the walls with gold. But this gold was different. Not cold like Ethan's empty riches. This gold was alive. Came from peace. From love without chains. Daniel turned toward her. His eyes soft. His heart open. He said nothing. He did not have to. Because Anna was whole now. Not because of him. But because of herself. 'Cause she chose to rise. To let go of what once broke her. To love again but never lose herself. In the city far away, Ethan sat alone. Drowning in regret. Haunted by silence. By absence. By the price of cruelty he never thought he would pay. But it no longer mattered. Not to her. Not to this new life. Anna looked at Daniel. And for the first time in years, her smile reached her eyes. True. Unshaken. This was her forever now. Not a castle built on lies. But a home built on love. On respect. On freedom. And as she closed the door behind her, she closed the past forever. The night embraced the little house in perfect silence. Only the soft crackle of the fireplace filled the room. Anna sat beside it, a book in her lap. But her eyes watched the flames dance. Every flicker reminded her she was alive. Alive in a way she never was with Ethan. With him her world was ice. Silk sheets and diamond necklaces could not warm frozen hearts. Could not heal bruises left on the soul. Here, every corner whispered comfort. The scent of wood and wildflowers lingered in the air. The walls did not trap her. They protected her. Daniel walked in with 2 cups of tea. Simple. Honest. He sat beside her. Close enough to feel safe. Far enough to feel free. She looked at him. And knew. He never wanted to own her. He wanted to stand beside her. The way love was always meant to be. Anna took a sip of tea. Warmth spread through her chest. Not just from the drink. But from knowing she had saved herself. No longer a victim of a rich man's game. No longer a shadow in someone else's story. Outside, the wind carried whispers of the city far away. Of Ethan's lonely empire. Rooms filled with cold silence. Mirrors that showed him a face he could not escape. A man empty of everything that truly mattered. Love. Eagerness. Respect. Anna leaned her head on Daniel's shoulder. Peace settled over her like a soft blanket. This was her ending. Not the tragic one Ethan wrote for her. But the one she created with courage. with strength, with her own heart. And in the quiet of that little house, Anna smiled. Because sometimes the greatest revenge is happiness, real, untouchable, forever hers. Morning arrived gently. Soft sunlight spilled through the curtains. Birds sang from the trees outside. Anna opened her eyes slowly. For the first time in years, there was no ache in her chest. No dread waiting in the corners of her mind. Only calm. Only life. Daniel was already in the kitchen. The sound of quiet humming drifted toward her. She sat up, feeling the softness of the bed beneath her. Not silk. Not luxury. But real comfort. Woven with care. Made for love, not display. She walked barefoot across the wooden floor. Each step felt like stepping into her new life again. Stronger. Lighter. Daniel turned when he saw her. His face lit up. Not with pride. Not with possession. But with pure joy. "Good morning," he said, his voice warm like the sun. Anna smiled. "Morning." They sat together for breakfast. Fresh bread. Wheat fruit. Tea that tasted of peace. No diamonds glinted on her fingers. No gold chain hung around her neck. But her heart, it sparkled brighter than any jewel. Far away, in his lonely glass empire, Ethan stared at empty walls. He remembered her laughter, the softness of her voice, the way her eyes once looked at him, before he crushed her trust. He gripped his glass tighter, but no drink could wash away regret. No wealth could buy back what he destroyed. He had power, but he had nothing. Anna finished her tea. She stood by the window. The world outside was wide and beautiful, waiting for her. She turned to Daniel. "Let us go for a walk." He smiled. "Anywhere with you." Hand in hand they stepped outside. Into sunlight. Into freedom. Into a life untouched by the shadows of the past. And behind her, behind them, Ethan's name became nothing more than a forgotten echo, a lesson left far behind. Anna did not need revenge. She did not need him to suffer. Her greatest victory was simple. She survived. She healed. She loved again. And she was gone from his world forever. The forest path welcomed them. Soft earth beneath their feet. The scent of pine and wildflowers filled the air. Birdsong echoed gently through the trees. Anna breathed deeply. Every breath felt clean, untouched by the poison of her past. Daniel walked beside her in silence. He understood. Not every wound needed words. Some were healed simply by being seen, by being loved without conditions. They reached a small clearing. Sunlight spilled like gold across the grass. Anna sat beneath an old oak tree. Its branches stretched high, strong, unshaken, just like her. Daniel sat beside her. For a long time they said nothing. They listened to the wind, to the sound of life moving forward. Anna closed her eyes. Images of her past rose in her mind. The cold marble floors of Ethan's mansion. The sharp sting of betrayal. The ache of being used, abandoned, replaced. But those memories no longer cut like glass. Now they floated past her. Powerless. She had walked through fire. And she had come out gold. Daniel's hand found hers. No force. No demand. Just steady warmth. Anna opened her eyes. She looked at him, really looked. His kindness was not fragile. It was not weak. It was rare. And it was hers. Not because he owned her, but because she chose him. Freely. With all her scars. With all her strength. She leaned her head on his shoulder. The sun kissed her skin. The wind played with her hair. And in that moment Anna knew. This was her forever. Not built from pain. Not haunted by regret. But shaped by love. Real. Unbreakable. Ethan could keep his empty palace. His hollow victories. His lonely nights filled with regret. Anna had something he would never touch. His freedom. And a heart that no longer belonged to the past. She smiled softly to herself. Not because she won, but because she lived. Fully. Bravely. Unstoppable. And this This was only the beginning. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold. Anna and Daniel sat together in the quiet of the evening. The forest around them settled into a peaceful stillness, the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze their only company. There was no rush, no clock ticking, no unfinished business, only the present, only now. Anna looked at Daniel, his presence solid and comforting, and for a moment, she realized that everything she had ever feared was behind her. The shadows, the pain, the days spent waiting for a love that was never meant to be. They were all part of a life that no longer defined her. "Do you ever think about the past?" she asked softly, her voice carrying the weight of years. Daniel glanced at her, a gentle smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "Only to appreciate the journey we've made," he replied. "The past has shaped us, but it doesn't have to hold us. Not anymore." Anna nodded, her heart full. She had spent so long running from what had happened to her, fighting the ghosts of betrayal. But now, in this quiet moment, she understood that the only power the past could hold over her was the power she gave it. She had let it go. And in doing so, she had freed herself. The stars began to twinkle in the sky, each one a silent witness to her rebirth. No longer a girl left in the rain. No longer a woman who believed in broken promises. She was whole. She was enough. Beside her, Daniel stood, reaching his hand out to her. "Come, let's walk," he said. They stood together side by side, as they walked down the quiet path leading back home. There was no need for grand gestures, no need for loud declarations. Their love was simple, real, grounded in truth. And as they disappeared into the soft glow of the night, the world seemed to pause. Anna no longer needed revenge. She no longer needed to look over her shoulder. Her future was no longer shaped by anyone else's mistakes. It was hers. And as they walked, their hands intertwined, she realized that the true beauty of life was in the freedom to choose, to love, to be loved, and to walk forward, into forever, without regret. The story had ended, but the life she had fought for was just beginning.